back, just like that.
Technically he did. He said he didn't want to. But he will. He said he didn't want to come back. But even if he does, if he comes back, I'm going to say, first, did you find that statute in which we're breaking? Did you find my definition of defacing?
The code number of the person who reported it?
Yeah, I want that case number. I asked him for it last time, and he started walking towards his car. And then he...
Yeah.
The Bungee Man.
Sure. And Candace verified exactly what I said when he was here. Nobody called a complaint. If they had, they're driving, they can see the signs, because the only people who can see the signs are the people driving. So if they're dialing the number, they're breaking the law. That's what you should be enforcing.
Unless they're watching this and they're just pissed at us. Unless they're...
Actually, I think there's laws against that the way internet recording goes. Because you can't actually factually prove that it's happening. Because that's what there was a case last year about a kidnapping on webcam, but they couldn't actually file the missing persons report because it happened online. The abduction happened online. People saw it.
Well, let's be clear. We are real people. This is a really overpass, a real overpass, real lights, and that was a real cop.
Yes.
Everybody's getting all...
Don't you dare.
Define reality.
Define reality, because
Give me 5 minutes, I'll have a newsman. Actually, make it 3.
Well, he was here. I had Chad.
That was fast as hell.
Wow. So
He was watching the live stream, so when I was talking to the cop, he goes,
it's been a little while since we've had police encounters like this as a group.
exhilarating somehow. And he was like, I'm not talking to nobody. I don't have to do anything. He was like, stop channel 13 feet away. He said that and there's no record of him even calling in to report that he stopped here. It's all on file at all.
And your thought of that is?
Until on record they have told us to take these down on record, I take full liability. He said he takes full liability. Yeah.
I'm willing to go to jail for this because we're not breaking any law, and I'll be able to get me a $6,000 check.
Good.
It's not worth it, dude.
Yeah, it is. I'm more than happy. I can spend money.
Osmar's over here going,
I can write
radio deliveries tomorrow.
I will write my memoirs.
Don't do it because the lawyers
just so
that
you
would
know,
defend the city would make 10 times.
I feel like I should
100
tell you all
times
that it is recorded, that because that was uploaded to the internet, that he stopped and talked to us and said that he would arrest us.
yeah, man.
Or he would arrest whoever did that. I sure as hell
I don't know. I don't know.
There was no charge. I was not given orders by which to comply and understand what codes I may be violating or what charges could be pending
Just do
against
this
me.
or we're going to arrest you.
Last I checked, I had the constitutional right to defend myself from my accusers. So
And
without the
straight up,
case number,
you can't take me to the police station before you tell me my charges. The moment I'm being detained, you're supposed. At the moment I don't have the freedom to walk my happy ass away, you by law have to tell me my rights and why you're charging me.
and I at least
why
have
I'm
the
being
right
detained.
to my attorney before transportation. So.
That dude came over here. We started talking. He looked like someone who was shit. Oh, look, there's Jamie. Jamie's walking up.
Oh, I see.
Lights off, buddy.
That's what the cops should be enforcing. No turn signal either.
Too bad we can't arrange the letters quick enough to say your lights off. Your lights are off. We've got this entire rind around here. Look, they're still coming around. Turn your lights on.
There's a lot of them too.
There it is. That little blob.
Yeah.
Too bad. If we only had a computer LED screen, we could say, turn your lights on.
It would actually be cheaper to get one of those LED things if you could get it to run off battery, and I guess you could if you had a battery pack that gives you a message, than making all these boards. Because, I mean, each one of these boards, between the paint and the board and the lights and the batteries, costs between $30 and $35 from each. So and then we got 20 letters, so, add it up. People were very generous and we appreciate it.
Yeah, we may
the people.
It's for these people.
For the people.
It's for the people on this highway. And they support us. They give us thumbs and thumbs up. They know tax the rich is vital. Let me tell you something. The only way rich people can be rich is to keep poor people poor. It's very simple. You don't need a whole lot of political science in between to mess it up.
I believe there's a big Bill Haywood quote that says every dollar a rich man has that he didn't work for, there was a man that worked and didn't get a dollar for it.
Exactly.
Being rich, unless you have
Unless you
get it
have
off
poor
the backs of others.
We are everywhere.
It's amazing that while it's happening, we can call everybody from news to lawyers. While it's fucking happening. I love it, man.
We are reality directors.
That's what's up.
America looks ballistic.
You're right. You put Occupy on this page when it comes to me.
Yes. Greg said it.
Right, I started streaming and we posted it to the places.
They said,
Just
I
so
mean,
you
they let
guys
them do
know.
their GMO. You know why? Because GMO is not a threat. They gave us our little protest and then we'll all go away.
And
Occupy is a threat. That means we're important. If they're afraid of us and they want to harass us, that means we're important.
unless it was just a troll and somebody really actually called and, because there are trolls out there, we know this.
Is there a specific ordinance for defacing with a permit? Because aren't those signs held up the exact same way? So would that be defacing the
I
property?
can't tell you until I arrest you.
But
Take you into the
like we were saying, we've had this here maybe 3 times now, or 3 or 4 times, or 2 or 3 or whatever, and never once stopped by police, or the police stopped for to talk to us. We didn't
Pretty sure
get
it's all
stopped.
public.
We've been
Yeah.
here.
Certain messages just don't go with some of the people in this city, and I guess Occupy might not have settled too well, or it might have been tax the rich that didn't settle with somebody.
That's a good point.
And of course, we could have had some government officials that drove by tonight. They probably would have been the first to call, if anybody did call the police. At this point, we don't think anybody.
Or maybe that was just the police stopping by to say, hey, we're watching.
Yeah, that's it.
Jamie, they were
Look at this.
Okay. Signs you work hard.
Nobody said they were taking away ours.
See how hard you work and see they wanted to come and take it.
When I called them, they had all my cards right there.
But they don't know we're here. They don't know we're here.
And that's usually what happens if you know it, right?
My procedure is I constantly watch because I want communication. I want to let Madam know information. I don't think Madam, Madam doesn't like me hanging out with information.
Right. That's somebody that's not compromised.
So, do any of the 4 viewers have any specific topics they want covered? Anything they want to hear us talk about?
What about why you mad, OPD?
I just hints that. I'll stand out here for that for hours.
That'd be another fun sign. Come at me, bro.
Yeah. Well, we need more boards and we can do it. These are kind of
Come at me, bro.
Maybe you could focus on that for a minute. How these boards were constructed. Dennis McLaren.
We have enough for come at me.
Okay.
Well, let's do an instructional video for the viewers. If they wanted to make their own sign, how would they go about doing it?
Well, what Dennis did was, as you can see, he made this rectangle and these angles. And within these angles, you can make pretty much any letter in the parameters of these angles. So what we've done is we've scored where we want to place our lights for certain letters, but this can be converted to an O, to a U, to a J, and any other letter. We can make a K, we can make an L, we can make an E, and we've made the little lines here, and then we scored them. Instead of making holes, we scored them with an X-Acto knife. We cut up and we cut across. We made little X's. So when the lights go in, they're in there really tight, and they don't go in and out. And that's what gives them such good focus, because they're all focused forward at the same time.
And it keeps it safe.
Exactly.
I think it's
So,
above that. I think it's a Department of Transportation property.
And then what we did is we Velcroed the battery packs. We've got double-sided Velcro, heavy industrial strength Velcro. We Velcroed those there. And so it works really well. So we can use these boards for any letters that we want. You can see there's multiple letters. Since we have all these other boards that have multiple letters.
And then that's
The only
like
thing that really had to been hand drawn was an S. Other than that, all the other letters,
he
you
doesn't
can
bring
make
that camera home from
Z's,
Benner, does he?
you can make K,
It comes home once in
you
a
can
while,
make
actually.
R's, B's, anything.
And we
This
have
was a B.
one room, so it could be the bedroom.
This is a B, P, R, Y.
So they're reusable.
Oh, they're convertible. We can
Well,
change
he's
this
on the way here.
board
The live stream
from
has
a
a
from a
delay.
P to
So
an
it'll
R,
mute from the
or
car,
to
like from
a
the
B,
internet.
or to a Y. So we can change it around. So it gives us a little bit more versatility. Now we don't know when we take these out how much light pollution it's going to lead to, any holes. But because we scored them instead of just making holes and removing material, we actually left material there. So we can push them back in. So we have it, it'll go flat instead of a hole always being there. So we only have the 20 letters, but we can be versatile with them. As long as our message is 20 letters or less, that's what we've got for right now. So it's really easy, and they do fit in real well. Like you can see the scoring there. It's not
And
just
my
a
schedule's
hole.
also posted
You
on
put
the
it in,
website, so
it stays, and it focuses.
that way people can literally organize around that
And
stuff.
I shopped around for lights, and it wasn't easy to find them. These are two strands of 20s
How long
that
are we
Greg
gonna be here?
wired
How much
together
longer? Laura's wanting to know.
until we get arrested.
Try
Well,
again.
okay.
We'll wait for her.
I told her we'd be here till at least 10, and then she told me it's 10:20. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's almost
we're
like
gonna be
10.
here for a while. If you're gonna come, if you want to stop by, we'll be here. We'll stay for you.
If they let us.
I can't believe it's already been 2.5 hours.
Howdy.
It's funny when it didn't have Occupy up there, nobody bothered us.
Right. Like we were saying,
That
we've done this
sanctioned
many
mindset,
times,
yes.
never with the Occupy sign up, and we've never had cop problems. The first time we put Occupy sign up, it was a cop.
Because it says Occupy Orlando.
You guys
That's
decided
why.
to
Yeah, this it says Occupy Orlando.
Inside video to prove it.
But actually, the number of hits that we get on it are few, very few, because there's not a huge demand for it. So
That's why we boosted that CEO or SEO so that
Next time we got to bring radios.
I mean, if you type in keywords, we pop right up to the top as far as
She
that
knows
goes.
country. She can.
Can you do
Front to back.
websites as far as selling
Laura, click
merchandise?
post your status
If I want
update.
to sell
So,
something on
the
my
first
site,
time
would
the
I
Light
get
Brigade says
as far as
Occupy is the first time the cops
costs a
show
little
up
bit
and
of
threaten
money
arrest.
for add-on programs depending on
Yeah.
what they
Fucking
pay for.
story.
So that's not any.
And we've had a lot of really good topics covered in the last hour of discussion.
Right?
And we went through a pretty sloppy assembly, general assembly, just for old time's sake.
That lets you do checkout right on the people boarding it.
And our announcements were basically that there hasn't been any Occupy related things in Orlando specifically for a while.
We need to be specifically Occupy Orlando because we're not dead. And Occupy movements around the country aren't dead. They're retaking Liberty Square in New York. They're going to be there, each day. They may not be there 24/7, but they'll be there each day. There'll be somewhere where people can come and get information and exchange ideas. And that's what's missing. We don't have energy. We're not together, and we can't feed off of each other's energy. When we're together, we can feed off of each other's energy.
Synergy.
Exactly.
Synergy is a beautiful thing.
And that's why they don't want us together.
Not so sure because a lot of the
Because
internet
together we're a
developers
threat.
trying to sell stuff
Alone in
on
our house, in
dime
front
as
of the
far as the
TV,
product.
passive, all fat and bloated and stupid.
Where we make most of our money
Eating
is
GMOs.
just
Just being
over
dumb.
time. Because we do the
Brain
hotel,
rotted from the
because I
inside
can
out.
offer service, we got our selling
So,
arrangements.
if anyone here is watching that is into national organizing or local organizing, and also locally here, you guys should know, November 5th, we're planning a march against corruption, similar to the march against Monsanto. So we're calling for
Remember the 5th of November,
right.
the gunpowder treasonous plot.
I know of no reason the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
So November 5th, the March Against Corruption. Check it out. They've got a Facebook group and a page and all
And we'll
that.
be there with our Occupy lighted sign.
Yes, man.
Okay, they're portable. We can take them anywhere.
only way to do that is to pay for it. So you'd have to buy a billboard and then just have it permanently say
No, no, I'm
something.
saying these boards. Instead of using these boards to use them flexibly, I'd like to just keep them like this and glue them.
I have a
Just this
massive
one sign. The other ones can
white
be
poster
glued.
with a red anarchy sign.
I want more and more letters. It's out of
Oh,
We
control.
need letters.
alphabet soup!
Ah!
Alphabet soup, guys!
Osmar painted nails.
There you go.
Overpass
White
alphabets.
mustache.
Do you ever eat the Paul Newman alphabet cookies?
No.
The little tiny cookies.
Georgia girl, I think I'm a little young
Charlie.
for Paul Newman alphabet.
Same with
cookies.
Florida.
No, they're new.
You really want to.
They're new. Yes,
There's
they've
the
only been
news
out the
going
last
by.
few years. They're so
Giving us a
nifty.
honk.
Terrible mistake. That you want.
North Carolina here, you can't wear a mask. This is individually distinguished. The only crazies can't wear Guy Fawkes masks.
I do.
You guys want to come in?
I don't know. Oh, you're going to have that and just everything else. The repulsion.
She needs to hide so much shit and carry so much shit on you.
Have you all heard about those protests going on where like the firefighters were fighting the police over austerity and stuff?
I didn't.
Oh, really? Where is
So
this?
surprising.
I think it was in Spain.
It's probably.
Oh, that I can see.
Uh, I'm not. I posted a picture of it on my
How
on my
about
Facebook.
this is the longest a Walmart strike's ever gone on, and they believe that the Walmart strike has finally reached critical mass as far as people protesting and striking Walmart.
Good.
So you think there's going to be there's already a labor strike for Walmart. You think it'll spread to other Walmarts? No.
Not enough for it to make a dent.
Boycott Walmart.
I wish I could.
I
I
do.
am too damn poor.
No, I do.
So
Remember,
Laura's
where I
actually
live,
not going
we
to
don't
come
have
out.
any other grocery stores. We got Walmart and Winn-Dixie, and Winn-Dixie is everything for every type of car. Everything.
Yeah, but they can't. Then you're just.
Econ Pass didn't do anything. Econ didn't give a damn.
And like I said, two other cops passed. Well, one passed this way, one passed that way, and went on the
Yeah,
expressway.
I saw the one that went that way.
Yeah, the one on the
They
expressway.
assign who they want to come out here. They assign whatever cop. I mean, these other guys are going somewhere else. They're just not going to randomly stop.
Well, let's not forget they've got real issues to deal with. Why would they stop here? Why would we want them to stop here? They've got important things to be doing and bullshit things to be doing. So,
Go stop the rapes.
yes, go stop rapists. Look at the shadow. People are looking by. Hello.
This way, all you have to do is go this, this, you're down. You're down. Good, you bet.
How many viewers?
Now we've got 3. We had 7 when the cops showed up. So
The drama's over.
the drama's over.
We hope.
We hope.
At least for now.
Yeah.
We've been warned they'll be back.
I'll be back. Now, I bet you $100 I want to come out here next week with signs that say Jesus saves, and I bet you we don't get harassed by the cops. Or love
course not.
God.
Right, and also if you had a loudspeaker and you went and stood on the side of the street and started Like they won't mess with you if you're talking about, you're sinning and all this stuff and blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
if you start talking about something important, like, hey, in that building right there
Just
where all the
message me about
politicians go, that they do this, hey, we gotta arrest that guy.
They'll just message me about what we were talking about earlier with the crime report in iDrive that they charge $300 for.
Yeah,
Yeah. He just found out that it was $300. He's like, that's some bullshit.
yeah, it was. And I mean, if I would have known about it, I would have gone there and helped organize. I mean, I could still, I guess, try to help organize it, but
All I think it was is really just a photo opportunity for people to pretend that they are doing something, post pictures on whatever
with all the
websites and
elites, the
Facebook.
fundraisers, and someone got a
I
lot
gotta
of
tell
money
you, the
from
way
it.
fundraising works around here, like, trust me, I've been to probably the biggest share of this shit, and it's fucking sick. Sick. Like the JJ dinner that they're doing in southern Florida, where all the primary Democrats are going to be meeting and having an overpriced $125 a seat plate. The one Democratic candidate for a governor isn't even invited to speak because they're holding off for some other candidate that they don't even want to talk about because all the Democrats are selling out to Charlie Crist, who is a Republican and an independent. But you have this female, Dan Rich, who's actually a good woman, and they're not even supporting her for the JJ dinner.
You got it, Greg?
Honey, I'll help you.
Oh, the Orlando Sentinel posted a story about this crime report thing. Let's see what it says.
Yeah, I want to do that. I want to come out here at the same time next week with
Same time,
that
same
says
bat channel.
love God and see if they
Yes.
stop us.
Go do that.
Orlando loves God and see if they stop me then. I bet you they don't.
Well,
Yeah,
they
I
didn't
bet you
really
do
stop
that.
us now.
Right? Because they're back fucking up, man.
Eat the cunts.
Yes, but I had to have my other boards taken away.
So what other events are coming up this week that everyone knows of? We know that there's
Every week there's a county commission
Saturday is
meeting.
the Hurricane Expo for awareness and preparation for hurricane season.
Saturday, Hurricane Expo. And if you got any questions, we'll post
I will
some
be
stuff.
presenting my hurricane preparation for apartment renters at it.
Uh, and let's not forget every Monday and Wednesday at City Hall, we've got Orlando Food Not Bombs serving free vegan food for anyone who wants it. So that's Monday morning at 9:30 at City Hall, and Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. City Hall.
There's a bunch of items on my website that I can't remember off the top
And
of my head.
so yeah, that was Food Not Bombs, Monday City Hall, 9:30 a.m. in the morning. Wednesday at City Hall, 5:30 p.m. So they do the breakfast and the dinner, and then also on Tuesdays, Food Not Bombs does free vegetable and bread distribution at Uncle Lou's.
If I can get like a spare $20, I want to put together a Central Florida Gardening Collective website.
Yeah, that'd be
And I'll
cool.
build it for free.
And
Somebody buys me the URL. Take me like $10 on GoDaddy. I'll build it.
and so that's Tuesdays free food distribution at Lou's, Uncle Lou's, out in front of his place on Mills. So that's free vegetables, free breads, um, eliminating waste, reduce, reuse, recycle. So, instead of throwing this food away 2 or 3 days before it expires or whatever, they redistribute it. And also, I don't know if you all knew this, but coming up, I think it's Saturday or Sunday. Eco Action is having a canoe cleanup on Blanchard.
Hurt anymore.
So
I'm sitting. It is standing.
if anyone wants to clean up some water,
I'm down for that.
that's Eco Action.
When is that? Don't you need a canoe, though?
No, you can call. You got to call Jeff. The number's listed on the event through the Orlando Activist Alliance, and they've got a bunch of canoes that you can reserve, and I believe there's no cost. I'm not 100% sure on that because I've got my own canoe.
Transport such a canoe.
It's not that bad. We've done it. We've carried the heavy-ass canoe in the baking sun at 3 in the afternoon.
I'm gonna carry my canoe all the way there. That's not.
On your car.
My car's not long enough to carry that canoe.
If Rebecca's can do it, yours can.
Rebecca
light a cigarette with one hand in the wind.
I want to see this Orlando Sentinel fucking article on this crime reporting. That ain't looking good.
Yeah, so if oh, let's see, we had a new quote. OPD, no record of any official calls on the Conroy Bridge. So no one actually called.
Who said that?
They lied to us.
I guess that's Jamie.
Yep. That's all right. So then there's the eco action cleanup. Oh yeah, tomorrow they're protesting the puppy mill place.
Okay, yeah.
On
Just puppies.
just
I like
puppies.
puppy mills.
Fuck
Kidding.
just puppies.
Kidding.
I've had some ideas about that, but it would have to be autonomous and unrelated.
All right.
Not
Well,
recorded.
just so y'all know that they are doing that tomorrow at 5 o'clock, I believe, and they've got all the signs. You don't have to make any signs. Just show up, and if you're against the whole, the problem, the reason that they protest is that
what they do is basically they have these mother dogs and they breed them over and over and over until they're basically dying. They just make them have puppies until they're dead. They take the puppies away very young. When they transport animals in mills, this is not just puppies. It's reptiles are especially notorious, rodents, rabbits, things like that. They move them in these massive trucks and they write on their papers ahead of time what their expected losses are going to be from being in this crammed truck and these heated trucks for so long. And a lot of these animals die before they even get there. They have like a percentage of animals that are still alive when they arrive.
And this is all while the county is forced to execute all kinds of perfectly nice animals.
Right, exactly.
Meanwhile,
3 days.
I believe we've got about 1 day left on the Orange County free kitten adoption.
Really?
So anyone in Orlando or Orange County, go get a kitten if you want a kitten. They're free at the Orange County Administration, or not at it's not OCAP. It's somewhere. Look it up.
By the Mall of Millennia at the ASPCA.
It's right over there.
It's right over there.
Right over there. It doesn't
It's literally across the street from the Mall of Millennia.
It's across the street, ASPCA. And
ASPCA Orlando or Orange County ASPCA. You can also Google Orange County Animal Services.
you could also Google Orange County Animal Services. And they, so like I was saying, they've got like 1 day left for free, no adoption fees, all adoption fees waived for
the month of May.
kittens. And I believe that a bunch of the dogs are cheaper than normal because they have to, like spay and neuter them and give them shots, and they do that to the cats too. But this came up because we were talking about why they protest puppy mills like they will be doing tomorrow at 5 o'clock on 50.
And honestly, there's a lot of belief that you're saving puppies by rescuing them from these places. You're really not. People who buy puppies from puppy mills statistically show they don't keep the animal. They pay $1,000 for a puppy that is a novelty item. They keep it for maybe 6 months to a year until it bites the kid or pisses on the sofa. Like 60% or some crazy number like that. Don't quote me, directly. But there's a high percentage of them that just end up in the animal shelter being put to sleep anyway. By giving them any money, you are supporting the action, the habit, the behavior, and you are not saving any animals. You're just not. Like that one animal is hens that are going into an incinerator at the Orange County Animal Services place. And there's so many animals that are really good tempered that go on a daily basis into the animal shelter and are really good pets. They're good with kids, they're good with other animals because they've been experienced. And pound kitties and pound puppies are notoriously grateful for their home. They typically are well behaved, they're quiet, they're good with people because they tend to at least comprehend this is their one shot. They could go back in a cage.
And they kill off all the ones that they don't like. So
Yeah.
you're getting a good selective batch.
Yeah, if they have any food aggression, if they show aggression towards other animals or anything like that, they're going to put them to sleep before they hit adoption. So they're vetted, so to speak.
So that's why there's a group protesting it tomorrow.
And also, get your rabies shot. They're $5 almost anywhere.
SPCA does really cheap neutering. I got a package over here at the SPCA.
Pictures of kitties.
I got the rabies vaccination. I got my dog spayed. It got microchipped, and it got its first round of shots, all for the combined total of $50.
Nice.
There's more than that. I just forgot the other ones. We're talking about
Oh
Initially
yeah.
it came out to $8 an item.
So, do y'all know a lot about paper mache?
Yeah.
Because we're gonna organize a meeting to make massive paper mache drones. Not like just a lot of them.
What are you going to use for the base?
I don't know. I don't. That's why I asked if people know how to do it because I don't.
Well, me and Becca, at one point, me and Becca and Tom were working on trying to make body casts, like body molds of people, to like put under overpasses and stuff like that to represent like homeless people, you know? Or to do something like throw a masking tape body double of a person over a bridge or something and hang them, and like, you know, poverty's killing people because people kill themselves every day over it.
I'll do that as
But
long as
what
it's
we
Tom Brady
did
Kirk right.
was we had to sit and wrap up like our legs with the masking tape. I think with the drone thing, you could do basically the same thing if you make your mold with the masking tape, and then put the paper mache maker over the masking tape. Theoretically.
I know that Dennis is getting a 3D printer.
Awesome. How?
That's cool.
I know Dennis is getting a 3D printer, and I know that he's crafty and artistic enough to.
You could put together 2-liter bottles. You could slice them and put them together, and that would naturally create that shape.
Of the drone?
Yeah, because if you take a 2-liter bottle and you slice it down the middle, and then just like make it so you're gonna cover, like probably cut just enough of the curve to keep like the round shape and add pieces and build it like that. And you could basically slice those pieces like panels of curved plastic and build it as you go. And you could probably make a really nice drone. Fuck the masking tape. You may do a hold it together, but probably 2-liter
At
bottles.
the
We might
radio
have to
show.
mess around with that.
Oh, you're looking for a spot?
I'll approve this message.
I'm dying to hear that. I gotta admit.
I haven't heard that.
Orlando, Occupy Orlando Light Brigade.
Actually, I got text messages. I got wings themes, and for my call, I had the Frasier theme, and for emails, I had the
Change the view
You know
angle.
what Jamie has for text and emails? You goddamn.
I used to
That's
have
old school.
Yeah, that's why he got it. He was like on the computer all night one night finding it.
I have that on my tablet.
Mine is the Rolling
I
Stones
had
Give
my
Me
tablet
Shelter.
for like 2 weeks, and I got rid of that bitch. I did not like it.
Oh, that's funny.
I had my laptop. I did my new Lenovo though. It like got yeah.
So we've had a lot of topics discussed here tonight. Uh, we've talked about going to public commentary for these huge 100, 200, 300 million dollar deals that they make with where they use the taxpayers' money to, you know, buy out these buildings without the taxpayers ever being consulted or asked, or what do we think about that? Don't ask us. We're just the citizens. It's just the people's money. It's just our money. Don't ask us. You can ask us every 4 years. That's all the input you need from us. Is they only need our input once every 4 years in decision making.
Oh yeah, man. They should. Everything should be up to us. Our representatives.
And by us, you mean the people.
I mean the people. Our legislators should be polling us. Should be asking the people. Well, what do you think I should vote on? How do you think I should vote? What's your take on this? That's direct action.
Take money out of politics. Corporations are not people, you know. They do not represent us.
No, they represent their own interests. And you'll never get a fair shake from anybody that's out for their own interest. It's just common sense. You don't need a political
Money.
science degree. And whenever you want the answer to any question, follow the money.
Follow the money.
Follow the money.
Indeed.
You'll always find it. And it's always at the end of everything. Just follow the money.
Follow the money. It's going to be a lot tougher now that they repealed certain provisions of the Stock Act, the Stock Trading on Congressional Knowledge Act, which no longer applies to roughly 20,000 agents and officers and officials are no longer required. So, you know, these are people that have insider knowledge on all kinds of contracts and deals and things that are going to go down. And meanwhile, the congressmen are still according to Alan Grayson, the Congress people still have to are still under the Stock Act, but 20,000 other people are not. So why is it that only them and not, I don't know. It sounds fishy. Follow the money.
Yes, on top of which, I read this morning in the Sentinel that campaign contributions can be double what they were before from private companies and whatnot to political candidates. So it is follow the money. Rich people can only be rich if they keep you poor. Rich people can only be rich if they keep you poor. That's the distinction between rich and poor. They're rich, you're poor. They can't be rich if you're rich. Then they're no longer special. So follow the money.
An example of that, the grocery stores have, the majority of the grocery stores are GMO-based foods and a small portion of organic. Organic food is almost too expensive for the majority of people to eat, so they feed you the GMO food that's more cost efficient in order for you to live.
Through subsidies, through heavy subsidizing and the massive food industrial.
There goes another sheriff's deputy that did not hassle us. We have had 5 different sheriffs pass us and not say anything about our signs except for one. So
his name was Finley Johnson.
And Finley Johnson was the only one that took exception to us being on this bridge. The rest of Orange County's finest does not take exception to us being on this bridge. So is this selective? Did we break the law for these other 5 officers that passed us? We only broke it for Mr. Finley?
Well, apparently he got a call. So that's not specifically, I mean, he didn't specify whether somebody called OPD and then he got dispatched or somebody called him personally. Yes. But he did specifically say that he got a call. Yes. So, if somebody called him and there was no call, that makes me wonder who's calling them.
Then he lied. Then a police officer lied to us.
But it's very possible that somebody else called him.
But he would not give
directly,
us,
not through OPD.
Oh, yeah.
But they did not give us any case number and said, I don't know the ordinance, we'll take you back to the office and then we'll arrest you and then we'll figure out the ordinance later. They didn't have the information they needed in order to press any charges. Exactly.
And they don't need them. But we didn't get arrested and he hasn't been back, which is a good thing. We have secured the rest of our letters, however. Greg is very protective of them. His fingers are sore from punching them. He put his heart and soul into this. God bless him, yeah.
I encourage other people nationwide, worldwide, to do the same thing and get a message out. It's not illegal to put out a message.
You have a thought. Or share a thought.
Think it's not illegal yet.
Think it's not illegal yet.
There you go.
It's not illegal yet. Thinking it's not illegal yet.
It's not illegal yet. I kind of like that whole time. How many letters?
Red Rover, Red Rover.
I also want something like support education. I mean, I'm a teacher, so I feel strongly about this. Also, there's legislation going through right now that's addressing, they don't want taxpayer money to pay for school meals, and that's fucking crazy, because if you work within the school system, you recognize that there are children who don't get food at home. The food they get, a lot of teachers out of their own pockets have food pantries in their classroom, where kids can take shit like SpaghettiOs and Easy Mac home for the weekend, because they may not get food if they don't. So the idea of taking money from education for the meals is fucking bananas.
What do you think about Rahm Emanuel in Chicago closing 50 schools and then giving $100 million for a private stadium to be built into a college?
It's fucking nauseating. It's nauseating because you have to think of how many misplaced minority groups this is gonna, what this is gonna do. If you take a kid who's between, especially elementary to middle school, if you take a kid in elementary school and remove them from their core group of friends, you're going to socially damage them, which can impair their ability to learn. They're not going to be able to have teachers who have a relationship that's been with them. The most ideal situation for a kid in an education system, as shitty as ours is to be with the same group of children, the same group of teachers, the same infrastructure throughout their schooling career. So by closing all these schools, because it's happening here too, we've got the 3 schools really close to here in where is it? It's a town right over here. They've got 3 schools closed and they've been protesting it, trying to stop them. And it's all over. So I mean, I think it's shitty, and I think that people need to be standing issue that kind of gets swept under the rug because we all know it's an issue and it's not one anyone feels empowered to deal with. And until we feel empowered to deal with it, it's kind of like, for me, the food thing. I have a hard time being involved in the food thing sometimes because I feel like I'm not empowered to do anything about it. I feel like it's stacked so far against us that it's a very large problem. So, I mean, education's kind of the same issue. Until we stop taking money from our teachers and stop disempowering our teachers, because our teachers don't have the ability to have any school supplies.
Do you know the history behind the FCAT? And
I know that your kids are not required to take it. The biggest, like, in my opinion, the reason that the FCAT even gets, like, the attention it gets is because it's a way for them to try and take away money from teachers. Force teachers to work for a lot less money in areas where kids aren't doing as well. But there's factors to be considered where kids aren't doing as well. Factors like their nutritional, situations at home, their environments at home, their neighborhood, how their route is to school. Do they have buses to take them? What are the absentee numbers like? So FCAT, I feel like it doesn't do any good, and most kids don't do well in standardized testing.
right,
They
and
don't.
for anyone out of state, the FCAT is the Florida standardized testing that people have to take. Elementary school kids, high schoolers, middle schoolers, I'm sure. And it was enacted during Jeb Bush, not George Bush. His brother Jeb Bush was our governor, and during his administration, it got passed. And coincidentally, I've also heard that it's the company that runs most of the testing is a Bush-owned company.
I will say, though, that if you are active in local Florida and greater Orlando area politics, Karen Castor-Dental is a school teacher who just got into the state house. She's actually a teacher who's completely against FCAT. She's not a career politician. I campaigned for her a little bit. I've met her a few times in person. She's really good on women's rights. She's really progressive, if that's the word we're using. And if I was going to, say that there was any politicians that I'd say you want to get in touch with on education issues, Karen Castor-Dental is a pretty cool lady to get behind.
And that would be stopping privatizing of our schools.
Yes, charter schools are not
Are
acceptable.
poison.
It's not acceptable. It's taking money out of the public education system. These charter schools, which give like credentials for how a kid can even go. So the kid in the Paramore district who barely has money for cereal is not going to be able to afford to go to these charter schools that are probably going to start popping up in these Paramore areas that are suffering from gentrification. And like you don't have people who are qualified to work in these places because they're suffering from disparities, so they don't have the qualifications and the education behind them to even get these jobs that are coming in. So I mean, we're never going to get America working again until we empower our education system. It's just not going to happen because kids are coming up with no tools. No tools. They're going to be doing the same thing we're doing, either standing on a bridge like an informed citizen, or occupying, or working in their community, or they're going to be punching a 9-to-5
That's
clock in
if
a
they're
fast food
crazy
place.
enough.
Yeah, if they're crazy enough. Or they'll be
If
like
they
punching a clock and trying their best to make rent.
completely absorb the sit down and shut up method of
Yeah, man.
living. We do not obey the sit down and shut up method.
Our bridge.
All right, so looks like we're wrapping up. Can we get like solidarity or some kind of like chant or like
Whose streets?
our streets,
Whose streets?
our streets,
Whose streets?
our streets.
Yeah.
All right. Hell no, we won't go.
Occupy Orlando.
Yes.
Hell no.
We won't go.
Occupy Orlando.
Yeah, hell no, we won't go. We're leaving. We'll see y'all later. I'll probably stop by downtown.
Solidarity, Virginia. Thanks for hanging out.
And for you viewers, I will be stopping by Tanqueray's. And if I can get Wi-Fi there, I will be streaming live music. I will be streaming live something if I can get Wi-Fi here on my way back to my house, which means passing through downtown. And that's over there. So I'm gonna go downtown and try to give y'all some music from local musicians. So thanks for viewing. Thanks for watching our back and helping us with the police thing. All right. Bye, everybody.